Hey, thanks for joining us. We're talking about what's happening right now in Star Wars. So stick around as we discuss news, teasers, and speculation about what's to come. Don't miss out. This is the FOMO Show. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. I am Dylan.
I'm Andrew.
I can't do it. It's fine. Hi, I'm Quinn.
Sorry, I was slow on the draw.
You're good. I don't know. I was so in the draw. I was just gonna do a Jabba the Hutt thing.
What are we
and then I was
drawing?
my lightsaber, because that's a bad sound. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I'll
did you
leave.
bring it?
No, it's at
No.
home.
Okay.
I'm
You
sorry.
never know with you. It could be in your back pocket.
Actually,
Like Highlander just pulled out of your leg. How did he ever get it on the show? It was funny. He had the trench coat, but he got in that little Miata.
yep.
Like, where's the sword? Where is it? Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for checking in on us. And I don't know why I said that, but thanks for watching. Some technical difficulties. I think I got it all figured out, but we are here nonetheless. And so yeah, so please like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon, ding, so you know when we drop a new video. Andrew's still trying to figure out the ding thing. He's like, what are y'all doing? And thanks for your support. I don't know of any special notes. Just
No.
be good people.
Be good people. People be good.
And I believe that's on to you, sir.
Oh yeah. Okay. If you haven't left now, this is your last chance, because this is your spoiler alert. We may be talking about some trailers of some interesting things that have already come out. If you haven't watched them, shame on you. Not really, just kidding. But this is your final chance if you want to leave. This is it. You have been warned.
Alrighty. Turning the light up a little bit just because it looks dark on there, but I don't think it's dark on the feed. I think it's just the TV. But all right. So yeah, go ahead and get in. Let's talk about the slate, the current slate. There's some crazy stuff going on with Star Wars. It's been a few weeks since the whole Kathleen Kennedy stepped down. But we're just gonna kind of like calibrate like where we were and where things might go now because of all this. So yeah. All right. So next week, or actually in what, 2 days, couple days,
3 days,
3 days, 4 days,
4 days.
yeah, the 6th. This is the
Oh well, yeah, 3 days and some hours.
yeah, math is, that's why I do this. I'm not good at math. So yeah, Darth Maul Shadow Lore, the animated series, is going to premiere on Disney Plus. For you normies, no, Darth Maul is not dead.
No.
The movie watchers only. Yeah, surely you know this by now after Solo.
Yeah, after so, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Is that Darth Maul?
he was there.
So that definitely did confuse some people. I think we were with some people that we knew, and they were like, at the end, they were like, "Why? What?" And then and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh man, yeah, I forgot. Not everyone
Yeah.
was watching all the TV stuff."
Yep. And I think at that time, that was before, like, that was that point in time where, like, the Clone Wars had to stop before it got picked up by Cartoon Network. Well, not yet. No, picked up by Netflix to like finish.
Right.
So
yeah.
like we saw Maul, but then like I think the very last scene of the Cartoon Network stuff was Maul versus Palpatine, lightning, end of season, and then the movie like a couple
Yeah.
years after that.
They I don't think at that point like the audiences were savvy enough to like jump, general audiences to jump from TV to movies back and forth.
Yeah. They weren't quite sure. There was still that kind of disconnect. They were like, okay, well, yeah, I'm watching this on the TV, but isn't this just to kind of keep the kids entertained? But people didn't realize how good that show was getting.
Yeah,
How good
and that it was
was
actually actual canon and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dark.
It's really
God.
pushing the story forward.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So much
yeah.
so Maul got his own show, and here we are.
Yeah. And today he just got renewed for season 2.
Oh,
before he
all right. Wasn't even out yet, dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the premise is Maul seeks an apprentice to aid him in his plot to rebuild his criminal syndicate and enact revenge on a planet untouched by the Empire.
Yep.
Yep.
And a planet free of God no right.
And at this point, he's just got the regular robot legs, just the bipedal
Yeah.
robot legs, no more spider body.
No
which
more
I got,
spider
you know,
body.
Yeah, why don't you
I like that
catch
at
up the
beginning.
normies on like
Oh.
what happened after the slice?
Oh yeah.
After the slice.
After the
What's it doing
slice.
after the slice?
After the slice, Darth Maul fell down a really big long tube, and then he ended up on a trash planet, where he then, through sheer will and anger,
And more horns. No.
and well, kinda, because them things just grew like 9 inches.
To file this
Apparently,
thing
yeah,
down.
you got to trim those. Yeah.
You gotta hilarious, actually.
Just like fingernails.
Yeah.
Too, man.
But he was able to reconstruct himself some legs. He was like half spider there for a minute. But
Which is pretty badass. Not gonna
he
lie.
was, but he lost his mind.
Yeah, that too.
And then,
As one tends to do. when
as
you're cutting
one
out.
tends to,
Then again, you're not quite sure if he was playing with a full deck really the whole time anyway.
no, he definitely wasn't. He kept listening to Sidious. Well, you never are.
Yeah.
And then after that, his brother, Savage Opress, found him after.
Bless you, by the way.
Thank you. Found him on the planet, brought him back to their homeworld, and Count Dooku at some point in time, to where he was then, his mind was put back together, no longer fractured, and they gave him new legs, but they were kind of like bent back
Lieutenant
paper
names?
clips.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then gave him
paper
like
clips.
They were huge, but like the shape of it was like he's been a paperclip. That's like his leg.
They still kind of had like dog knees, like the back,
Yeah.
of, like, back of like a canine legs, like that type of thing.
Yeah, they bent the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like Heinz legs.
Yeah.
Yes. And then he and his brother went off on a revenge mission against one Obi-Wan Kenobi, to which he put Kenobi through the ringer. Kenobi, if you didn't also know, had a love that he said, I can't love you because I am a Jedi. The Jedi are everything, but you would be my everything. You just got to tell me to leave. Who was also like,
Is this before or after Anakin?
this is after Anakin. Oh, no, wait.
Look
It's
how
like,
during, because it's during the
it's
Clone
during the
Wars.
Clone Wars, but not after Anakin is.
So Anakin is still Anakin. He's
Yeah,
not,
he's still Anakin Skywalker. He is not Darth Vader.
And they had history before the Clone
Yes,
Wars even
before
kicked
the
off,
Clone Wars.
Before Obi-Wan took on
Yeah,
Anakin.
back when Qui-Gon was alive.
Yeah.
And his love interest was also the Queen of Mandalore, which that's Mandalorians. It's a whole bunch of stuff. It all kind of interweaves together. But back to Darth Maul.
Even
Home-
back to the Mandalorian because
Even-
you've got the
Oh yes, the helmets and
Death Watch.
the Death Watch, the Vizslas, which is that. See, that's a rabbit hole. That's
Yeah.
how rabbit holes happen. But Darth Maul, in his mission of revenge and wanting to take everything away that he possibly could from Kenobi, said, I'm going to take over Mandalore. And homie did just that. First, he took over Death Watch, which was a subsect that kind of like also wanted to take over Mandalore. He then took the dark
Of
saber
Mandalorians.
of the
correct.
Mandalorians, and he took the dark saber so that he could then have like the claim, I beat the one who had this, so I should be your leader. Then from there, he actually took over the planet, and then
Forgot to turn on the dark saber.
oh yeah. See, it's right over there in the corner. Dylan just turned it on. And then Darth Maul killed Obi-Wan's love interest in front of him. And like then Obi-Wan like, I have to leave the planet. And then more things happen, and then we get to episode 3. Where then Ahsoka goes to Mandalore and it's like, Maul, would it be, dog?
Exactly.
Like actually
Filoni is known for his conversational style.
yes. And Maul was like, it'd be like you could just join me and we could stop all this. And she was like, nah, dog, I'm gonna take you down. And he's like, bet. So then Ray Park put on a mocap suit and then fought Ahsoka, and it was amazing. And then Order 66 happens. Maul does some things. He pulled a door closed on a clone trooper's arm. That was amazing. Then he left. And he got off the ship and he escaped in an escape pod. And that, I'm assuming, is where this show will pick up.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because where we saw him in Solo, he had already built this criminal syndicate.
Yep.
And was running it.
Was running it, force choking people across the galaxy. Yeah.
And come to find out, the love interest, Amelia Clark's character, was part of it.
Yes.
The Crimson Dawn. Is that right?
Yes.
So yeah, it'll be an interesting period to explore for sure.
Yep. So yeah, one of the things that I've heard about is that this apprentice that he's looking for, that she is kind of a big deal going forward. She's going to be a kind of a main character.
I see her face. I see the tattoos. I cannot remember her name to save my life at this current moment.
That's what I depend you for, man.
Yes.
That's why you're here.
But she is like a pivotal, I can't say the word. Pivotable? That's the word? Pivotable? Sith. In the old legends, before, but now, as we've seen, they've like sprinkled in legend stuff in different ways throughout. And so I'm curious to see how this is.
For all you normies, Legends is the books before Disney took over.
Yeah.
They decanonized that, and they're just kind of sprinkling the old stories into the new canon.
Go ahead.
And Thrawn came from those books, right?
Yep,
They
Thrawn
brought him
came from
back.
those books. The giant destroying space rectangle did not, which it's not here yet. I don't know. We'll see. The Devastator, just a big old giant rectangle. Boom.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
but we'll see. So, knowing what happens to Maul the next time we see him after all this, which is in Star Wars Rebels, which is another animated show, amazing show. Go watch it.
Yes.
I'm curious how everything turns out, and then also because the one question we always have when we are introduced to new characters in the past, where they are like sub story lines across the, I guess, Skywalker saga, is how long do they live? So I'm curious if she will still be alive when we actually
her race,
well, not her race, but her herself. If
the
his apprentice, yes.
She's kind of like I don't know which race it is.
Man.
You got the long
The tentacles.
tentacle hair.
Tentacle, yes.
hair.
Hold
But
on.
not Twi'leks. She's not
Yeah.
Twi'lek.
She's a Twi'lek.
Twi'lek, yeah.
See if
Yeah,
someone
like
said
the
it.
green ladies in Jabba's little caravan deal.
And Hera in Star Wars Rebels.
Which, yeah, because, okay. So real quick, just like a sub bullet point. Do you know why they're always in harems? How does one say this the best?
People like Captain Kirk like the green ladies.
Well, no, yes, but also not apparently, canon in old and new, their stuff is the best stuff.
Oh,
Like no, hands down, it just is.
some kind of chemical concoction going on.
Actually, yes.
Oh,
Essentially,
oh.
it
They're
is.
like bred to be.
It's essentially ecstasy seeping into your skin when that stuff happens.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
I see.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a thing.
It is. It's
I wonder who came up with that one. Is that a Lucas?
that's why.
Dirty old man.
Was it in an episode of Andor? Didn't he go? He went somewhere. I thought it was a brothel in like the first season, and like
First
all,
episode, he was in a brothel, I think.
and all of the workers
sister.
were there.
Yes. Twi'lek.
Yes.
So makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm done with that.
So yeah, there's a lot of lore there. There's a lot of interesting thing. Darth Maul is a very interesting character, and they're gonna dive in and kind of show some of that stuff if you're interested. It's all their animated stuff is always great, so it'll be a great watch either way.
Indeed.
They're releasing 2 episodes a week, and it's gonna end on May 4th.
Talon. Sorry.
Talon.
Darth
Yeah,
Talon.
Darth
Yes.
Talon.
Darth Talon.
Yes.
And Darth doesn't necessarily mean that they're a Sith. That's like a title, right?
It is a title. Means you've gone through all the stuff, you've done the trainings, but there is like with the rule of 2, she can't actually ever truly be a Sith. and he is also technically not a Sith because
Dark side user.
he's just a dark side user.
Like Count Dooku.
Like Count Dooku. Yeah, because Sidious and Vader exist, they both are technically just not Siths. They are just they've done
Boys
everything.
Club. Nobody can join.
Yeah, essentially.
Just a bunch of people waiting in line until they get their moment.
Yeah.
To kill their master.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of their whole thing.
That is the whole thing.
To steal power.
Yeah.
And become the greatest.
Yeah.
It's definitely a crazy career path for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Poor
Hit him.
Dooku. It's like, what?
He
No.
was like, hold up, dog. This is not what we talked about in the meeting on Tuesday.
Yeah. I didn't realize. I watched a breakdown on Screen Crush's channel. They said Dooku was right, and they went into the whole lore about Dooku and how he even I want to say it was it Visions, the first season of Visions, where they kind of went into
Him
like
and
his
Qui-Gon
backstory.
on that,
his backstory.
Oh yeah.
How he was kind of burned by the Jedi and went a different direction and saw that they were kind of like doing things a little dirty.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to do things right, and he thought that Vader or whoever Sidious was going to
was also on the same path that he was.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I'll
big
buy
trick.
into this.
mm-hmm.
But he wanted.
yeah used.
He did. And it didn't find out until, like, for real, until his hands were cut off and he was on his knees with his own lightsaber at his throat.
Mm-hmm.
Which sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was a count because he owned land and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. He had a whole planet, which we got to see in Star Wars, Clone Wars. They actually visited the planet. Dooku wasn't there at the time, but everyone there, they were like, yeah, we love this dude.
Nice. See, yeah, some of those little intricacies are confusing for just like regular watching people who are like, well, who is this and why are they important? And
Yep.
Star Wars demands like doing homework, and I think for the people just going to see the movies, I think they do get confused a lot. I think a lot of people did, especially at the end of episode 9.
Yep.
Because I think if you didn't watch kind of like what was going on in Rebels at the time, you wouldn't understand exactly that move between Rey and Kylo.
Yeah.
the
that moment, 'cause you're
dyad thing and all
Yeah,
That's right.
the thing I like to call is like the Jedi subspace highways, where they can like they can either transport stuff or themselves. Which
Yep.
that. Oh, where they pass the lightsaber and
yeah.
yeah, that was interesting. A lot of this stuff that they're like they're bringing new stuff. They're just making up crap, but they're actually pulling it from
stuff that
canon.
exists. Yeah. And if you read the books in like the late 80s, early 90s, early 2000s, you know these things. They may have just tweaked them a little bit.
Yeah. Like
What?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Say your thing.
I was gonna say like on Acolyte, with the metal that makes the lightsabers.
Yes.
go-
Oh, dang it, Dylan. Why did you just say metal? Now I forgot the name of it.
The material.
Cortosis, because it's not Beskar. Beskar, Cortosis. Those are the things.
Yeah,
Cortosis.
Beskar is what the Mandalorian's armor is made of, and
Yes.
it is lightsaber proof, right?
Lightsabers cannot cut through it. Yep. Cortosis deactivates lightsabers.
Okay.
And as soon as it contacts, just shoot, shorts them out for about 30 seconds.
So like when you're watching Star Wars, you have to have an open mind about like all these things. Like, whoa, hold on, that was kind of out there. Check and see if it's actual canon instead of like being a troll online first. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Right. Because I had a mental block in my brain of something because
Block of kurtosis?
possibly. But yeah, his apprentice is most likely going to be Darth Talon, but it's going to be different because she was Darth Cholt's apprentice 137 years before
Wow.
the Battle of Yavin.
Oh wow.
So before episode 4, that is like so if you're looking, oh no, it said A. So after the Battle of Yavin. So 100 years after the Battle of Yavin. Yavin 4.
Yavin?
Episode 4.
Yavin?
Yavin.
I thought it was Yavin.
I thought it was Yavin, just because I'm remembering from the video games I've played.
With an N.
I feel like they've called it Yavin, but
Yavin.
then again, maybe I've just read it. I don't know.
That's how
are
things
you-
work when you read in Like people reading Wolverine comics and calling people knuckleheads forever.
Yes.
I did that.
So the timeline of Star Wars is always like, did it happen before episode 4 or did it happen after episode 4? She is Darth Chul's apprentice 137 years after episode 4. Yes. So we'll see. She's now here way before she's supposed to be.
And she's potentially a love interest for Maul. I understand.
Oh.
Which is he going to penguin this or not? That is the, like...
I mean, she is a Twi'lek. Maybe he just can't help himself. But he ain't got no legs, so how?
Like, actually, yeah, homie was cut. He wasn't cut like at the knees.
Yeah.
He was cut in half.
It's gone.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, whatever.
It has been mauled.
But yeah, so Maul, it's gonna be good. We have 4 days, 4 days, 3 days and some change.
Yeah. There's a lot to dig into the Skywalker saga that is still interesting and that they haven't really dug
They haven't
into.
touched.
Yeah. At least put on screen.
Yeah.
There's books and comics and all that kind of stuff. Which is what I depend on you guys for, because they're like into,
I do like that. I think Star Wars is just one of those things for especially good for kids because when they do that, it it makes like researching fun. I think for kids because they love to like go then read the chapter books and just pick up all this this knowledge that like their parents don't know. Yeah. So that way when they're watching with their family the next time they can be like, oh, you don't know who this is? Well, I read the book.
I read the book. Yeah, that's a comic.
I remember that a lot when I was a kid, being like, oh, I know who this guy is.
It's like, yeah. Which is really neat and really good. Yeah, I agree with that. Is like at its core, Star Wars is for kids. Now, not to say Star Wars will not do some adult things.
Exactly.
right.
Because they definitely have.
like Harry Potter, it grows with its audience.
It grows with his audience, and then it says, I'm going to hit this reset button, which it has done 3 times? No, twice. Yes. Because its original audience was probably like back in the 70s. They were however old they were when they watched it. And then when they... It's dead. Yeah. And then when those people then had kids and we were in 1999, they were like, I hate all of this. But their children were like, I love this.
Yeah.
And then we all grew up.
I was like fresh out of high school when episode 1 came out.
Yep.
No, and all through high school, it was like, oh, he's making more. He's making more. We're going to get 1, 2, 3. And we might even get like 9, 10, 11.
Who knows?
Or whatever it is. Or not 9, 10,
7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9,
Yes.
which we did. And
Which I think I'd said this last week, and I had said this to like somebody else a couple weeks ago. When the kids that watched episode 7, 8, and 9 are our age, they will love those movies.
Yeah.
that's the thing about Star Wars. It stands the test of time, and the longer it's out, the more deep the lore and interesting it gets. So they just kind of like, they're really good with weaving in and out of it, and that's one of the gifts that Filoni has, that he has done that with 1 through 3, episode 1 through 3.
Yep.
With Clone Wars and Rebels,
and various other things. The Lego stuff is also very good. I like it.
Yeah. But there's some good one-off stuff like Star Wars Visions and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, those are all very good. Yes. Yeah. So, but that's
Yeah. So
some stuff.
moving on to something that I think everybody's interested in is the Mandalorian Grogu movie, which is coming out in May of this year. Mandalorian started off kind of gritty cowboy western, space western thing, and then just kind of like morphed into this Jim Henson
Started,
the Muppet Show, kids show kind of thing, I think.
Yes.
And a lot of people are loving it, and I think it's fun still. I would rather some of the gritty stuff, like in episode 1 where he chops a dude in half and all that. That's great. But for whatever reason, they have decided that there won't be a season 4, but they're going to make it into a movie and kind of finish out that saga or that story. So yeah, that's what's happening. And Jon Favreau, who is one of the creators with Filoni, says that Din Djarin's going to get more helmet off moments.
Looked like it was off a few times in those trailers.
Yeah.
Which for the
He's just right there. It's okay.
dog's licking him and wet nose and all that. Andrew's got shorts on, so
Take it
all
easy,
up in
buddy.
them
Take it
legs.
easy. But I've always thought too that what was cool about the Mandalorian Grogu, because they borrow a lot from Western stuff, but they also borrow a lot from like samurai Japanese type stuff.
Yeah.
So it really reminded me of those Lone Wolf and Cub movies, where it's the samurai and his little kid and the baby stroller.
It really gets at the essence of Star Wars, like because all the Eastern philosophy and Western versus samurai stuff.
Swashbuckling, sword fighting, gunslinging, just all throughout our history, just kind of like
crazy how different that stuff is, but how well it meshes together.
Yeah.
Yep.
And space magic.
Space magic as well.
Yep.
Because the Mandalorian kind of like I feel, in Quinn's opinion, revitalized Star Wars a little bit, because we were in a period where people were real rough with all things Star Wars. I mean, they still are. When it's extra something they don't like, they will scream. But The Mandalorian, it got as many things it did. There were several spin-offs that came from that. We had Book of Boba Fett that came out. I liked Book of Boba Fett.
I did too.
The first half of Book of Boba Fett was Book of Boba Fett, and then it turned into Mandalorian season 2.5.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like,
And I was expecting that too. I feel like. And then we had Ahsoka spin-off as well.
and we had a Ahsoka spinoff, which gave us probably one of my favorite scenes in Star Wars of all time. Really, it's favorite episodes. Favorite hour of Star Wars, where Ahsoka was like, I'm drowning, but actually, I'm going to go into this mental realm and see my master. And we are going to talk, and he's going to try to kill me. But also, we're going to go through like all the time, and you're going to see me as a child. And I was on Geonosis, and my master is in his armor. And then there's this scene where my master's walking back towards me, and then like lightning happens, and he goes, and his lightsaber turns red, and you get like Anakin Skywalker with the red lightsaber and Sith eyes
in live action.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm glad they brought back Hayden Christensen. He's just sitting there, just use him.
Yeah, he was sitting there, and then he gets applauded and cheered and confetti thrown at him everywhere he goes now.
Yeah.
We also got, it wasn't a spinoff of a Mandalorian, but we got an Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which should have been a movie probably.
Which
originally was gonna be.
Yeah. How many episodes was it? 6?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it could have made that a movie. It didn't.
I think it was during the time when they're trying to put out content on Disney Plus and all that.
So, like,
Trying to keep us coming back week after week.
Yeah.
Let's keep chopping up this movie. Chop up this movie, I guess.
Yeah.
And put all the deleted scenes in so we can make sure we have just stretch it.
Yeah. Some people get very serious about Star Wars. I get it, but like my bar, just like with comic book movies, it's like the bar for me is like, is it fun? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
Outside of that, if it becomes like Oscar worthy, then that's even more
That's even
icing on the
better.
cake.
Yeah.
But I'm just there to have fun and watch some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Because all of it's going to be crazy because all of it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And because, it just is.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this last movie for Mandalorian Grogu is going to, I feel like it's going to be a springboard for some other stuff. It's going to tie in some other things from Rebels that that they've already done before because they really like doing it.
Moving towards Dave Filoni's potential movie where everybody comes together.
Yeah,
his Avengers.
His Avengers of Star Wars.
We got Zeb showing up. I mean,
We got Zeb.
Finally, he's such a good. I don't know. It's such a good looking alien. I like when he shows up. He was kind of like, I think he was one of those like original, ideas from back in the day. I think when you watch, see that
actually, he
original
was.
artwork.
I want to say Chewbacca.
He was, kind of like what Chewbacca was supposed to be before or something.
Yeah.
They always kind of kept him in the back, and then they bring that thing out. And I love how they do that. I love how they end up turning concept art into actual characters.
Things. Yes, I love all of it.
It's hilarious when like the the trolls online are like, that's ridiculous. That's not Star Wars. And then you flip over the page where George Lucas drew the concept art before he even made Episode 4.
Yep.
It's like
it is all Star
bro,
Wars.
They really use it to try. They're using every part of the space buffalo. So
Yep. That's you must.
or space whale.
the space whale.
Space whale. Yeah, space whales.
Yeah, that
Hyperspace.
one kind of threw me for a loop at first, and I was like, okay, all right, it's a thing. All right.
It's a thing. I understand how you all figured out hyperspace through whales. That was cool. But yeah. So yeah, a lot of interesting things. Who can jump galaxies? That's the part that it didn't. I'm not hung up on it. It's just that's wild that they can just do that on their own.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whether through they open wormholes or they bend space. You know?
The universe is a big place.
Yeah.
Lots of opportunities for things to
Lots of
evolve, I
opportunity
guess.
things evolve. Yeah, there was something I was watching a long time ago that was it's in Legends because they haven't canonized it in Disney. Earth exists in Star Wars. Earth is a dead planet. Like a while ago, the human race left Earth and we just went out into the galaxy because we can't live there anymore.
Which is funny because this is like a long time ago.
yes.
But somehow also in the future.
Somehow also in the future. So yeah. But which is why that was like the reason that there are just humans everywhere, but there's not like a home world for us.
Yeah.
It's because ours is dead.
I just assumed that they were like humanoid looking
Things.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's us. Just descendants of Earthlings that are out there in the galaxy.
interesting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Din Djarin.
Back to
I have questions about like why can he take his mask off now and he doesn't have to just dip in the river? Is he going back?
Does he keep going back every time he does
Yeah.
it? Would be wild.
I mean, I guess he could now since they have it.
Or maybe this is silly. I'm gonna say it, but it's silly. The little pond that they have in front of their house is filled from water from the sacred
I've
springs.
got a sacred pool here.
Just do a little cleanse whenever.
This sacred canteen. It just spritz the holy water.
All right, back on. I'm good. Let's go.
That's got to be what it is.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just don't. I know, like inevitably, we're going to see him die, and I don't want to, but it's gonna happen. They're probably gonna save it for the Star Wars Avengers, whatever you would call it. But yes, because everything is. You're right. Everything's leading towards that. Because where Ahsoka ended up, I'm like, this is weird. Here we go.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go. We're gonna get into stuff like that in here in just a minute because all that stuff is still kind of in development. But as of right now, what is solid? We got Star Wars Starfighter, which is coming out in May of next year on the 28th with Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
Who is in everything now. He's great in everything.
He loves being in space, he says. So.
I didn't know he was in Project Hail Mary.
Well, he's quite good in Project Hail Mary.
Yeah,
So I've heard.
Yes.
Yep. So we got that. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, and then the new Jedi Order movie with Rey is expected next year sometime. Filoni has been in talks with John Boyega to return.
Okay.
'Cause they did some things that weren't cool with his character.
Oh,
They
really,
bring Finn
Dylan?
back
What
and kinda
things
make
did they
things
do?
right.
I know.
Tease his force sensitivity or whatever.
Yeah. You know, just put him on the poster holding a lightsaber the whole time. But oh wait, it's actually not going to be him doing the thing.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, he's just burrowing it.
Yeah. No, I will go into this optimistic because I'm like, all right, if she's agreeing to come back, especially after everything with the sequel
Yeah, she had to get off of social media and everything.
Yeah. So I think like either something with this has to be good to bring back Daisy Ridley, and then if they can get John Boyega to like come back to reprise his role as Finn, then like something really has to be good. So I will go into this like, okay,
Yeah.
Let us see what is happening.
Yeah. There's got to be a compelling reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's basically the premise is just her rebuilding the Jedi Order in Luke's wake, I guess. Everything went red behind us.
Yeah.
The middle ones are changing, so that's
Okay.
And I think the blue one died.
Okay.
I forgot to charge them, so they're like periodically dying, and we'll just end up with the ones in the back that are actually plugged in.
I'm definitely down for more of the two of them. I'm sorry that both of them took so much garbage from so many angry fans over that whole trilogy.
Yeah.
But I've loved John Boyega since Attack the Block, and
Yeah.
Oh my God, Attack the Block is okay.
They were the greatest.
good.
Oh man, I love that one so much. And we've watched a lot of she's been in a lot of indie films in the last few years, and there's a lot of them on Hulu and stuff. And I think she's great as well, and I look forward to seeing more of them.
Yeah, I think Adam Driver is probably the only one that escaped that unscathed.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he already kind of had
He had a lot of stuff beforehand. I think a lot of people still didn't know who John Boyega was when he first popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to get so many people to watch Attack the Block.
Watch Attack of the Block. I watched it on a whim when it first came out. I was like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, any kind of weird, kind of spacey alien thing. I'm like, check this out. And it's super violent. And
Yeah.
Yes. And very
Right up my alley.
Very South London.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
I'll
good.
allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah. So that's happening. It's in development. We don't know a whole lot about it other than that right there. And then, of course, Ahsoka Season 2 is being developed, and they've had to recast. Ray Stevenson's character,
Yeah.
who
Yes.
passed away.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
But he's being replaced by the Hound actor, which I love him too. But so
Yes.
I'm sure he'll do a great job.
Yeah.
He will. He likes playing roles with swords, I guess. Because just real quick, make sure y'all pull me out of this hole because we're going to jump in there. The end of Ahsoka season 1 saw them on what we can only, not assume. I don't think we ever got a name for the actual planet that they were on, but it seems like it is the planet that the father, the son, the daughter, and the mother came from, and where the mother may have just been exiled to, out of the galaxy that we know that the Skywalker saga happens in.
Yeah. And that's some lore that came from the Filoni verse that wasn't necessarily in the movies, except maybe in the recent ones, maybe.
Barely.
Kind of alluded to. They're getting people used to it slowly.
Yes.
But yeah, so they're like the originators of the Force or something.
They are, yes, they are what each side of the Force originate from, and the father, the balance, who is essentially not Force Jesus, I guess it's just Force God, who is the Force itself in physical form, who in the Clone Wars TV show, there was a whole 4-episode thing where Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan ended up getting their little pocket dimension, and the father was like, homie, for you to not destroy it, well, the father didn't try to convince him. The father was like, you have to take my spot. That is your role. That is why you exist. Just do it. And the son was like, actually, if you leave, this is what happened. And showed him the whole future. So much to the point where Anakin turned to the dark side right then.
Oh.
And then Obi-Wan had to beat his ass for the first time. And knock him unconscious. Then Obi-Wan and Ahsoka fought the son, and everything ended up falling apart. And they left, and their memories were wiped.
How convenient.
How convenient.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Some of that stuff is just a little odd where you start to personify the Force that's supposed to be this mystical.
Yes. Mystical thing, metachlorians. But,
when you I've heard a lot of people say, and I kind of agree with it. When you start to explain things a little too much, it kind of loses its
luster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loses that mystery.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can see that. So it's a fine line to tread, because you want to keep giving little nuggets of info so people can be like, oh, I know a new thing, but if you know too much, then there's no mystery.
Yeah. Yeah, and Filoni is with the spiritual godson of Lucas. So I mean, he knows Star Wars backwards and forwards.
Yes.
He just gets it. So
Balin's skull.
So much information stored in that cowboy hat of his.
Yeah.
So much hidden knowledge.
So much hidden knowledge. And
Right. So, you have anything else real quick?
No, I just want Chopper to keep cussing. That's all.
Of Chopper.
So now into some other things that are in development. And some of this stuff is still, it's up in the air now that the leadership has switched hands at Lucasfilm. And we can get into that a little bit here in just a minute. But we've got James Mangold is supposedly doing a First Jedi origin story.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. The Taika Waititi project is still in development.
That doesn't have to happen. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, he's been writing it. It was supposed to come out in 2023, but he's been writing it for a long time. And he kind of changed writers, is what Kathleen Kennedy said. But she said she read the first act and it was great. It was hilarious.
That's cool.
He's wanting to do like a different side of Star Wars, which
So did Zack Snyder, and then he just went to Netflix.
yeah, they didn't want to go hardcore. Like, this is a children's show. Simon Kinberg is getting a trilogy, supposedly 10, 11, 12, and it's going to have Rey in some capacity. But there's a force out there that wants them to get away from the Skywalker saga.
Okay.
But at the same time, every time they do, they get shouted down.
Yeah.
Like the Acolyte.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they definitely did. And the Acolyte was just trying to do stuff different and weird and like things that you knew existed but hadn't seen on screen, like a lightsaber whip. That is something that has just been in books. I haven't even seen that in a game. And they did the thing, and I'm like, that's cool.
I remember that bounty hunter chick from like, I don't know, it was like book 5 or 6 from like the Jedi Apprentice. You ever read the Jedi? Yeah, that cover where she's like riding the space motorcycle and she's got that pink laser whip.
nice.
I was like,
I've
that.
got that burned in my brain from like from grade school.
Yep.
I just always I always just accepted that exists somewhere. Someone's got one of those.
And it's like the most dangerous actual version of a lightsaber you can use.
Yeah, I would assume
Yeah,
so.
imagine if you hit yourself with that.
You're just dead.
It's like that's supposedly how Indiana Jones got that scar on his chin. It's like
Lightsaber.
right.
But yeah,
Universe is a big place. There's
there's a lot of
room
things.
for invention.
A lot of room for invention, and also in the same thing. Yeah, the Star Wars galaxy is huge, and they're also we don't always have to stay in the Star Wars galaxy because we can jump galaxies now.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
So I'm interested to see what they do. I know essentially all the Skywalkers by blood are dead. So let us see what happens.
Yeah, Rey is an official, or I don't know. She's a Skywalker.
Yeah. No one, honestly, there's no one alive that can tell her otherwise.
Yeah.
I thought about this the other day.
Oh,
There is no one besides Chewbacca, which not everyone speaks Wookiee.
yeah, that's true.
There's no one alive that can tell her
I'm
otherwise.
down with it.
Mhm.
Maz Kanata.
I mean, she's also Palpatine. Well, but we'll see.
Am I saying that right? The Lupita Nyong'o's character with the goggles.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's old.
yeah, she's a little tiny thing.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Alrighty. So yeah. So Filoni's culmination with Ahsoka. You've got all the Rebels characters.
Yes.
All those are coming together to fight Thrawn, which is kind of a reimagining from the books where it was actually Luke and Leia, right?
Which was it was Luke and Leia. They
But
fought Thrawn.
They're gone.
They're gone.
I think they just need to recast.
Yeah.
Everybody got upset about Solo
wait.
recasting, and now they're scared to recast. But Sebastian Stan is sitting right there.
He's sitting right there.
You could totally do it. Yeah.
Luke is still alive, and he's young. During this, when this fight will happen, he is still young because everybody will still be there.
No more CGI faces, please.
I mean, even Mark Hamill has said, "Yeah, do that guy. He can just do it." So we could see some things. We won't see like the thing, which the thing is third sigh. All right.
It's not a problem.
Where Luke is wearing Vader's armor. He and Leia fight a young clone of Sidious, and Luke then, before Leia shows up, turns to the dark side for a minute. Leia has to be like, homie, stop. And then he's like, okay. And then Palpatine gives this whole speech and tells them about the prophecy about another set of twins that is in Leia's belly at that moment. And then they kill Palpatine and find out he has a whole bunch of clones because he just can soul jump into empty bodies.
Oh. Ooh.
Which is what happened in the last
It sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember hearing about Luke turning to the dark side in the books and all that kind of stuff.
It was
And then
neat.
And you got like Mara Jade,
Yep.
who probably we'll never see now.
His wife. We won't. I'm
Yeah,
sad.
which is crazy for a Jedi to
Yeah.
have the connections like that. But
Especially since, like, in Mandalorian, I'm sorry to cut you off, Dylan. Finish your
you're
thought. Okay. Especially since in Mandalorian, they have Luke being a hardcore Jedi. Not like everything's cool. If y'all want to go have relations, go have them. But you can, just be a Jedi. We are with the people. But everybody, it seems like the order they're having him build from that, and we've seen in the sequels, is that it was just the same thing, just smaller, which is not how it was in Legends. It was a bit more how the yellow lightsaber Jedi do it. Not Sentinels? Yes? No. I cannot remember. I'm drawing blanks on names today.
I thought they're yellow worse Sentinels, right?
The yellow, kyber crystal wielding Jedi, Darth Sidious was most afraid of, because those Jedi weren't like the ones that wanted to study the green lightsabers, or the ones that just wanted to fight to protect everything, the blue crystal people. They wanted to like live in the living force, and like they went out amongst the people and they did a whole lot of community work and built relationships,
like the monks, kind of.
like the monks. Like those folks, he thought they were so dangerous because they could build up an army based off of like, we are all in this together. It is one versus the many.
They had influence.
Yes. And that's how he was kind of building his new Jedi Order, and also, just go be happy. But now it's just what it was. It is what it was.
Yeah. And there's, I know this is another rabbit hole, but there's some disagreement out there as to like what balance means in the Force.
Yeah.
I honestly, I just got an argument. A guy on YouTube today about, or commented something last week about how the Force had tried to warn them that it was out of balance, but they under their own pride kind of caused the imbalance to get worse.
Yep.
And the Force had to step in and create the balance.
Yep.
That's why the prophecy happened and all that kind of stuff. But what, according to George Lucas, of course, you've got the image of the first Jedi with the yin and yang, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of Eastern religion influences there. But George Lucas said that it's not a equal parts of good and evil. It's more of just kind of like a harmony of them. And so,
Yes.
yeah, I don't think Dave Filoni is a fan of the whole gray Jedi thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, isn't that what Ahsoka is? That's like his main character, right?
She is, yeah, and she is at the current moment, a true gray Jedi. She doesn't dabble with the dark side. She knows it, she sees it, she accepts it. She has even had to like work with it in Maul. But she also does not believe like the way that the Jedi that she was taught was the way that she should be and how things should be. And so she's just like firmly
Like Dooku,
and
kinda.
like Dooku. And Dooku would have ended up probably being a gray Jedi if Qui-Gon hadn't have died.
Yeah. So is that why her lightsabers are white? Because they're pure or something like that?
No, that's
No?
not why.
Well, they're recycled Sith crystals, correct?
What's that?
She
They're-
purified. Well, because I mean, a Sith crystal is just a kind of a disease.
It's a bled kyber crystal.
Which we got to see in Acolyte.
Which
It's
we got to
corrupted in the first place, and then
Yeah.
she was able to purify it once again, and that
Yep.
turned it white.
And that turns it white. It loses its color. It's just saber.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one was that was explained in one of the books that I read. Yeah, one of the newer ones that came out in the last few years.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got all those people coming together to fight Thrawn, who is another big threat in the galaxy, who's trying to restart the First Order. So we basically got the ingredients of the new First Order coming.
He's just so excited.
He's stuck. He doesn't know how to get around the fan, but he's just sitting there with a goofy grin. So that's kind of like the next big culmination to defeat the. Apparently they don't succeed because the First Order we know is a thing.
First Order is a thing. Yeah. No, I was right. It is Sentinel. Okay. That's just Jedi Sentinels. Okay.
So that's coming, and then the Lando prequel is still up in the air. They're wanting to do it. A lot of the fans are on board with it because they love Lando and they want to see.
That's from like 10 years ago at this point.
Right?
So they get Donald Glover to come back and nice.
Yeah. I didn't realize. Is he 42?
Is he?
Hold on.
He's going to be the same age. It's not going to be much of a prequel.
Yeah, Donald Glover. Hold on. Yeah, he's 42.
Oh.
Dang on.
He also had a stroke.
What?
Yeah, well, he was performing on stage. He's like, I had to start the show, y'all. Last year when he said this happened. He's like, I had a stroke and like I just had to be gone for a while. So take care of yourselves. Paraphrasing to like the end, but yeah.
Wow.
So
because that dude he's got all the irons in the fire. He does everything.
Yeah.
Talk about a polymath.
Yes. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, if it happens, it happens. But I forgot about it, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. It's still one of those things that's kind of like up in the air. And development means anything. That means they're still open to it, I guess. And they're trying to figure out how it might work, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Yeah. And another one, the Rian Johnson trilogy. Rian Johnson isn't sure it's going to happen, but it doesn't seem like they've officially canceled it or anything just yet.
Don't. I've seen all 3 Glass Out movies or Knives Out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Glass Onion.
Glass Onion.
Yeah.
Or whatever the last.
I mean, maybe
was.
he just had to go do that and give some time for the heat to die down off The Last Jedi.
And remind people that he can like direct good things.
Yeah, he's an excellent director.
Yeah.
There's just got to be more communication going forward, especially once again if they're going to do trilogies and stuff like that. Everyone has to be on board, kind of like talking, because otherwise you're just going to make these disjointed movies that don't quite go together. And
Yeah.
I have a whole I think one of my first YouTube videos was like I was upset right after I saw that movie. And I wasn't like a hater, but I broke down. I was like, okay, for these reasons, like this is why it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But
I've spoken with a lot of hardcore Star Wars fans, and they do kind of it is odd because it's like I do like that movie a lot, the number 8, but like
it looks great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it definitely
own.
It definitely rubs some of the hardcore fans the wrong way. For a reason or two.
Y'all reminded me. Thank you. Yeah. No. It didn't rub me the wrong way. I watched it all, and like I was really okay about it, I guess. I
It just
enjoyed
took a hard left turn
It
based off of what was set up in the previous movie,
Yeah, it sure did.
which was his intention apparently.
Okay, Rian Johnson.
Yeah.
We keep coming back to this, and I just like, all right, Knives Out is good. Knives Out is good.
Yeah.
Every time
We're gonna do episodes 1 through 7, and then 8 we're gonna go a different direction.
Go a
It's like,
different direction.
What?
but so I had a realization, and like it hit the hardest in episode 8 and I texted y'all about this, that Kylo Ren's storyline in the sequels was just Luke if he had turned to the dark side in episode 6, because there was a scene that was exactly the same scene. It was just prettier where Kylo Ren is sitting there or standing there in front of Snoke, and Snoke is like, I feel it. He's anger. He's telling all that whole thing happened in episode 6. But Sidious was telling Luke, I feel your anger. I feel your hatred. Exact same thing. Except Luke was like, nope, I'm done. And Kylo Ren's like, bow. And Sidious even said, use your anger and strike me down and become like, and fulfill your destiny. And then Kylo Ren did the thing. And I'm like, okay, rough. That's fine.
Which, you know, is another big complaint that it was all a reinvention. But there was, I mean, there was a reason, because they kind of had to like prove that they could make the money back that they invested in Star Wars. So that's like a behind the scenes kind of thing. Yeah. But now hopefully they get to get more. And we'll get into that. Let's burn through these real quick. Rogue Squadron, on and off again. A droid story, a Disney Plus movie. A new droid taken on with C-3PO and R2-D2 on a new story.
Take it off a cliff.
Yeah, that's development. And of course, Vision season 3 and the spinoff of that, the Ninth Jedi animated series, is in development. And of course, the Ben Solo movie.
All right,
you know about this, right?
I think I'm not 100% familiar on this.
All right, so Steven Soderbergh and Adam Driver got together and came up with a whole new movie about how Ben wasn't dead, but he was out there kind of like, I guess, amnesia-ish or whatever. Something where he was out there.
He was reincarnated through the Force.
Okay. And Ray they had to go find him. And it was called The Hunt for Ben Solo.
Yes.
Written by Steven Soderbergh.
Nice.
Right? Who I believe wanted to direct it.
Okay.
And they were like, nah, we don't see how you could come back. And they shot it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. Easy. It's space magic. It's fine.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, how many other crazy things have you done?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see how he can come back. Sidious is the one that kills him, who died 3 movies ago. Fine, whatever.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, yeah, you brought Sidious back somehow. Palpatine has returned.
Yeah.
I still don't quite understand why people act like that's the cringiest line in all of Star Wars either. I don't quite get it. I guess maybe I need to go back and watch that scene again because it's been a bit. But
I guess because of from a writing standpoint, it's just an easy out.
Just an easy out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hi. My one problem with that, thank you for taking the time, is the way that they did it. Okay, so before even the trailer dropped, in a video game I'm whatever about, they did this whole thing, and then like there was a message, it was about Sidious returning, and I'm like, that feels like they just kind of told y'all the whole movie. In Fortnite, there was a there was an event, and at the end of the event, like something blew up, and then it was like a message, Darth Sidious has returned on Exeter, or whatever it was, but essentially it was Palpatine speaking of like, I've returned, I'm here, homies.
And they did that on Fortnite.
Yep.
Cool.
So you had to also be on Fortnite just to get all this
just to get all that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a move.
Yeah. All right. We can keep
all right.
going.
So speaking of games, there's a game, Star Wars Eclipse, that is being developed by Quantic Dream. I've never heard of this company. Supposed to come out next year, or the year after.
The last time we saw anything about this, I think, was in 24, was when that first trailer dropped in like the summer. It's the one where like there's someone in the water, there's drums beating, you see some people like training on a bridge, and like these very beautiful like scenic shots. And then it just like they wake up at the end of the drums and it's like Star Wars Eclipsed. And that was the last we've seen of it since then. I thought, and for a moment there, I thought it got canceled, but maybe this summer, May 4th, we'll see something else about it.
CinemaCon is coming up in the next couple weeks, and Favreau is supposed to have a big section of it. So there's probably gonna be a lot of info drop at CinemaCon about Star Wars.
Okay.
especially right after, on the heels of the regime change.
Because they kind of got to like show everyone that they are bouncing back and like this is how we're going forward now.
Yeah, exactly. And before we get into that, Star Wars Jedi 3
Yes.
is also in development
Also in development.
with Cal Kestis.
The final game for Cal Kestis.
I want to see him live action. Like, come on, just do it.
Yeah, they had so many opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
but I think they don't want to spoil how this part of his story ends, which is probably like one of the reasons they haven't had him show up in shows that take place after the fall of the Empire. So
Yeah, because I mean, how many Jedi can you have that survived Order 66 that are still kind of like bobbing and weaving through the timeline, but never showing up?
Because I'm like, all right, homie,
Yeah.
how effective was Order 66?
All right.
Because I'm fine with there being more than one, but at the same time, you'd probably have to put a cap on that, because
Gotta put a
otherwise you're just
cap
gonna keep pulling people in. And
But I mean, at the same time, there are the outer regions and outer rim
space
and
is
all
big.
those.
I mean, there's
Space is big, but you know who?
But the Force, you can kind of like hone in on people, right? Like you can find people.
I mean, yeah. Every time a Jedi just like, oh, I saved the baby. 2 seconds later, here's an Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Highlander. They're
Yeah.
just like someone is near and kind of
The Force
pick
is
up on
used.
it.
Yep.
But so to a lot of haters, pleasure, Kathleen Kennedy has moved on, and we're getting a regime change at Lucasfilm. On her way out, she gave kind of like an exit interview and like just kind of like told a bunch of shit. Yeah,
Cool.
like
Maybe.
she was like, okay, well, when I was hired, I was told to branch out and do new and creative things. But every time I tried to do it, I was shut down.
Yeah.
So, and then she gave updates on like the Taika Waititi and all that kind of stuff, and basically just spilled the tea about the Ben Solo, Hunt for Ben Solo movie.
Yep.
And she was like, it wasn't me. Apparently Iger had a big hand in a lot of this.
Like steering it away.
Yeah.
Because probably, homie, it's Disney publicly traded?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, homie's trying to keep big people money in big people money.
Yeah.
Like in interest. And like he was probably also tired of like unfortunately, the community being the way that it was in response to like 90% of the stuff that was coming out at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I would not want to be in his position where you've bought Star Wars and now you've got to prove that you can do Star Wars to the fan base, but at the same time also prove to the investors that this was a good investment so you can actually keep doing Star Wars.
Yep. Which unfortunately sounds like it meant shooting those who were creatively minded in the neck.
Yeah, because like when the first movie came out, you've got George Lucas and Mark Hamill like publicly
I want to do this.
tearing it down and saying this is not my Star Wars kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was not great for
One of the best.
Yeah. So I think a lot of that had to do. I think that kind of splintered the fan base a little bit.
So it definitely did. Because there was buzz. I remember that point in time and when I was alive, because I was alive. There was a lot of buzz behind episode 7 coming out, and like it seemed like it was gonna be really good. And it came out, and everyone was like, "Okay, this was good. Feels like I watched episode 4 again, but that's actually kind of okay."
Yeah, it was like just enough to remind us like why we like it and that they can do it, and let's see where they go.
Yeah.
But then it went into left field.
Yeah.
And then it went even further in left field. I think Rise of Skywalker is kind of universally panned by most fans.
I have not actually gone back and watched that one. I think the other two I've watched at least twice each, but I think that one I still have only seen the first time in the theater, and I still have not revisited it. If I get the time someday, I probably will. But
Yeah,
Maybe.
I feel like with Filoni in charge. Okay, so the new leadership for Lucasfilm, they've done what the DC has done, where they've got somebody that is over the creative and somebody that's over the money. And I cannot remember her name. That is going to be like the head producer over the money. It's a different kind of name. It's not like a Mary somebody, but yeah. So Filoni is over the creative end, and Filoni has never actually made a movie. So a lot of people are kind of
really
leery about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, can he do it? Because a lot of the stuff that he does is very Star Wars referential instead of being about plot and character and
and all the things that you would think a movie and story would have.
Yes. Right. So I mean, that a lot of people are kind of nervous about that, but I think at least give him a chance. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know. I don't want to be negative, but then you've got like Mandalorian that started out great and universally loved by fans, and then went off into Rebels territory under his hand.
Please.
Lin-Wen? Is it Lin-Wen Brennan?
Lin-Wen Brennan is the co-president alongside.
You think I remember that? It's kind of like got a rhythm to it.
Rhythm to it. I believe that's her. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just at this point, not a whole lot of people have still dipped into like the animation in general, which it stinks because there's like such like great storytelling there, and and we've talked about this off camera that just I love seeing how that studio just improves, and like every time they do a new show, it just looks better than the last one.
Yeah.
But there's always gonna be a chunk of people I think that still just like won't take the animation part seriously, even though there's like a lot of story stuff's happening in the animation. So.
Yeah, and then you've got the issue the same as like the MCU where it starts to feel like homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's where the being self-referential kind of like hurts them a little bit, especially when you get into like the movies where it's like these people. So there are some people who are only going to watch the movies and not going to watch anything else.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, you can still sprinkle in stuff for everybody else that makes it great. And it's like, oh, what is this new thing? And because I remember being a Star Wars fan of the movies, and I had not read a single book. This is before the animation came out or anything, and I was working at Sears, and there was a guy that was hardcore Star Wars and had read every book, and he would just talk to me for hours about like when we were supposed to be helping people about like what happened and all this kind of stuff. And it was fascinating.
And once again, that's a fun thing about how, because like kids on the playground, this kid's played this video game, this kid's watched this show, and then they all come together and they bring it together, through that.
Together.
And I think that, hopefully at least for the next generation, that's what they're still doing. Because I remember that's what we used to do back in the day. Just like, I read this book, I read this one, and I played this game, and like we all just sort of compare notes, and then we all kind of like absorb the info from one person to another without having to actually do too much of the homework.
Yeah, and the whole fan base rises out of it, and then when the next movies come out, they understand it a whole lot more.
Yeah.
But then, other people are just completely confused, and that's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I mean, you've got a whole generation, like you were saying before, that love the prequels now because they have made them more accessible, but also more part of the original trilogy. Like made them make sense, they've shown how they connect.
Yep. They added colors to the lines. No, that's not how to say that. They colored in the whites. Nope. No, whatever. Imagine Star Wars as a coloring sheet. Yep, there we go. They filled in all the colors on the coloring sheet, and it's like, here's this pretty picture now. Yes, that is what they did.
There you go.
Thanks, Dylan. We got there. I also had someone like that in my life. His name was Nick. He knew so much about Star Wars. Then I was like, okay, I guess I know nothing. And I was like, this is, and I learned a lot about Star Wars in that time. And then, when Disney bought it, I did have a moment where I felt like everything that I knew and learned was nothing now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah, that doesn't.
And I felt bad for those people, yeah, because I know that there's so many people who wanted that whole era of the Empire. They wanted that like 1-to-1. They wanted those books like, completely
just
translated onto film.
Yep.
And that's not going to happen, apparently, at least not in the way they want.
It's not in the way they want.
Yeah, and Star Wars has always kind of had. I think they might have been like one of the first properties that had like canon, but they had layers where it was like the movies are canon, and then it was like I want to say like the show, TV, books and TV, and then games or something. So like if something in the games contradicted what was in the movie, it's not canon.
Yep. Until the games give you like the coolest thing ever, and like they're like, all right, we're just gonna take this, and since it was so far away from any of that, it's real. Darth Revan.
Yeah. Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes. So, bam.
They're supposed to be remaking those.
That's supposed to be happening as well. Maybe we'll get like some real game footage of the remakes.
Yeah. And there's Star Wars is a huge universe. You've got the Old Republic that they started to explore in the Acolyte. I was really excited about it. I am apparently one of the few people who really like the Acolyte because the lore building that was going on, and
it was all good.
Yeah, and they were coloring in the line. Yeah, coloring in the
see,
coloring in between the lines.
Negative space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were filling it all in about like the Jedi and their pride and all this kind of stuff, and even alluding to Yoda's cover up.
Yep.
At the end of it, which made sense in the prequels, where he gives this look, and it's like they're not undoing it; they're just sprinkling more flavor into it.
Sith, there are not. Yeah, and also,
but some people don't want to see the Jedi more than anything than right all the time.
Yep. Because there was a homie in there, he was a senator that was like, yeah, the Jedi are shady, and I'm going to prove it, suckers. But also at like the very last scene of Acolyte, you're getting it now because you're not going to go watch the show anyway. They're up there. Shoot, I forgot his name. The guy and the twin that still has her memories, giving you all of it. They're just there watching the waves, being happy, and like, we're gonna go take a bath later because that's probably what definitely happened. They cut back to the cave, and we just see this long fingers just wrap around the edge, and a little face poke out, and like, that looks like it could be Darth Plagueis, because that is how he has been described every time I've heard about this man.
Yeah, confirmed it was. Darth Plagueis the Wise. The overarching story is they were supposed to have 2 seasons, but the Lucasfilm has been so reactionary lately that instead of just saying, hey, we're going to put this out and over time you're going to come to accept it just like everything else, and we're filling in the story here, and it's going to make sense, just trust us. You might not like it now, but instead of doing that and leading, they killed it.
They killed it. There's still a petition out online. I will advocate for this show that you can go and sign for the 2nd season to happen. Also, there's a petition for Star Wars Starfleet Academy for 1 more season after season 2. So go sign those. Yay! We want
Star Trek. You mean?
Yes, that's what I meant. Thank you.
I was like, wait a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, Star Trek.
Well, yes, well, that definitely needs to be brought back as well. And I'm sorry. Once again, there's another fandom that, like, I think a lot, the people who are watching it love it, but it's like still being screamed at by people who refuse to even watch it.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. There's like this loud minority of people. It's like, tell me you've never seen the show without telling me you've never seen the show. Yeah. Who just get the generalities and kind of painted their own ideas onto it.
By saying, I just want to see hardcore space fights. It's like, okay, well, that's one part of Star Trek, but that's never been what it's always been.
Like, you only saw the Chris Pine movies. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that makes sense, yeah.
That makes sense. We called J.J. Abrams for you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, Star Wars or Star Trek has been controversial from day one.
Yeah.
I mean, with the first interracial kiss on television, and
Yeah.
they've always moved the needle like that. So that's kind of their bread and butter.
The first episode, fun fact. I had to say to y'all into them.
Thanks to Lucille Ball for Star Trek, by the way.
Thank you for Lucille Ball for Star Trek.
Yeah, go look that up.
And Star Trek started on my birthday several decades before, but it started on...
How old are you, Corey?
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yes. Okay. Yay.
Very cool. Yeah, we got through it all, and probably a lot of
There's a lot of extra. But...
yeah, but also a lot of technical difficulties. That's the word I'm looking for. That I'll probably have to just drop this later. We'll see.
We'll see. It's all right.
Probably cuts in and out, and there's like, we'll see. Yeah, and YouTube doesn't let me edit it until like 24 hours later, so we'll see.
Weird.
Yeah, I can't take out like the first 10 to 20 minutes of just coming soon, or starting soon until later.
Gotcha.
Anywho, all right. Thank you guys for joining us and sitting through as the lights go out intermittently, and as we geek out and explore some Star Wars stuff. And yeah, it's a fandom that we're excited about. We're always probably gonna watch it, no matter what they do, unless they just torch the whole thing, which hopefully they don't do. But there's a lot of potential still.
They won't. It's one of those things that's too big to fail.
Huh?
It's one of those things that's too big to fail.
Yeah.
Like, even if people hate it, it's still gonna exist.
Yeah. It's not gonna go too far off the rails before somebody steps in and has to course correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and Kathleen Kennedy got a lot of flack, and she just didn't really get the credit she deserved and the opportunities that she deserved.
Yeah.
Because she's an amazing producer. Go look at her
Repertoire?
her
Catalog?
thing. Yeah,
One of
everything
those
she's done. Yeah. Sorry, I got a little headache creeping in, so things are starting to like.
Oh, all right.
Alrighty, so yeah, thank you guys for joining us. We hope that you will join us live every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube. And please like, subscribe, and hit the little bell icon so you know when we drop a new video. I'm Dylan.
I'm Andrew.
Solo. I'm Quinn.
And we'll see you later. Peace.